Welcome, everybody. Rosh Shiva. I want to thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu for giving us the Siyata D'Shmaya to get to this moment of opening up a kollel in Chesterfield, Missouri. I won't get into all the details, but there was really a lot of Hashgacha Pratis. A lot of things came together to be able to get to this day. Thank you to all our friends and family and community members for being here today. It's amazing to see how full it is, how everyone took from their Sunday and came out here. And it makes it so much special and so much more meaningful that everyone, the entire community and Chesterfield is able to come here today. When I first got married, we lived in New York for about 5 years. I learned in Kolell, Emek Halacha. Anyone that knows me knows the Rosh Emek Halacha is Reb Tuvi Goldstein. Reb Tuvi Goldstein is a Zechron Livracha. He learned in Baranovich by Reb Chanan Wasserman, then in Kamenetz by Reb Baruch Ber. Eventually, then he spent the years of the war in Siberia. Eventually, after some time in the DP camp, and somehow he made it to New York, to the east side. The first Shabbos he was in New York, someone recognized him in the shul. They recognized him from Baranovich, and they said to him, maybe he could go up and say a few words. So he went up there to speak in the shul, and Reb Tuvi was a baki in Kolater Kula, he's baki in Shas, Paiskin, but he was a very humble person. And he went up there and he said, he took the words of Moshe Rabbeinu by the sneh. He said, Lo yish dvarim anochi, I'm not a man of words. And a woman yelled out from the Ezras Nashim, if you can't speak, then sit down. So he was, but eventually she came back to him and she said he spoke very well. But those words came to mind because anyone that knows me knows that this is not where I want to be standing up here. This is not where I feel comfortable. People say I'm not a man of many words, but I kind of got pushed into being the MC, so you'll have to put up with me. I'll just share with you a very short Dvar Torah, and then I'll introduce my brother-in-law, Moshe Winter, who's going to speak. In Parshas Ki Sisa, we find when Moshe brought the Luchos down from Har Sinai, so the Torah describes the Luchos. The Torah says, Luchos ksuvim mishnei Evrehem, mizeh u'mizeh heim kesuvim. The Luchos, the Torah tells us that the writing of the Luchos went completely through to the other side. And really there was two miracles. The Gemara tells us there was two miracles on the Luchos. Number one is that although the letters went all the way through, the pasuk says you could read them from both sides. Also, the Gemara says that the other miracle is that if the letters go through completely to the other side, so what happens with the mem and the samach? A mem is a circle, a samach is a circle, so what happens with the middle of the letter? So the Gemara says that the mem and the samach, the middle of the letter, it stood on its own. It was hanging in midair. So what is the significance of these miracles? I mean, the Torah is not just, Kadosh Baruch Hu didn't just make miracles for no reason. There must be a reason why these miracles happen. It wasn't just to make a miracle for no reason. There must be a lesson, something the Torah is coming to teach us by doing these miracles. Rabbi Baruch Finkel, Zechron Livracha, in his Sefer on Chumash, he says two fascinating limudim from these miracles. He says the nace of the letters hanging there teaches us that the Torah holds itself up. The Torah doesn't need us to hold it up. The letters hung on their own. The Torah held up itself. So what are we doing then? He says that our schus, our whole chiyas, our whole life comes from supporting the Torah. The Torah could stay up on its own, but our whole schus, our whole merit, everything we have, and our whole life depends on us supporting the Torah and learning the Torah. So the letters of Luchos went through to teach us that the samach and the mem were hanging. They didn't need us to hold it up. We don't have to hold the Torah up. Like we say, Eitz chaim hi l'machazikim ba. We say it's a tree of life for those who grab onto it. And so if you were trying to hold the Torah up, it would say machzikim oisa. You'll be holding onto it. But ba means you hold onto it. Because by holding onto the Torah, that gives us chiyas. That gives us life. By supporting the Torah and by learning Torah, that's a great schus for us to be part of this amazing starting of a kollel, that we can be part of a new Makom Torah starting, and it's a great schus for us to start a kollel in Chesterfield, and it brings life to all of us, and it's a great schus for all of us. And anyone who has been, the kollel's only been in Chesterfield for a few weeks, but anyone who's been by the shul, you can feel a new energy. You see even the minyanim are fuller, and the shul, Beis Medrash is packed at night, people learning. It's just, the Torah is chiyas, the Torah is life, and it's created a new life and a new energy in the shul, even in such a short period of time. The second lesson of the Luchais, that the letters went all the way through, Rabbi Baruch says that every Talmid Chacham has to be Toichei Kebaroi. Every Talmid Chacham has to be inside and the outside the same. There's no such thing as an external appearance and something else going on inside. A Talmid Chacham has to be inside, Toichei Kebaroi, inside and outside has to be exactly the same. And really we have a great schus that we were worried in the beginning, how do we find Young Light? How do we find people who want to move out to Chesterfield, Missouri, coming from Lakewood? But Baruch Hashem, we've had such mazel, such atzlacha to find the best possible Rosh Kolell and Young Light, who are all Toichei Kebaroi and all Loimdei Torah, and it's just been amazing. I'm just going to introduce each of the Young Light. If you could just, I know it's uncomfortable, but if you could just stand up when you're announced so everyone could know who you are and so everyone can see who you are. First of all, Ramesha Winter, one of the Rosh Kollel. Rabbi Yitzchak Winter. Rabbi Yisrael Meir Frank. Rabbi Moshe Chaim Byron. Rabbi Pesach Ashkenazi. And Rabbi Yaakov Stein. Thank you. Just a couple of thank yous before I introduce the next speaker. First of all, thank you to everyone who came from Lakewood. Thank you to Rosh Shiva, and thank you to Yossi Reeder, and thank you, who's on the board of trustees of Beis Medrash Gevaya, and thank you to Jeff Weiskopf and Stroli Orzel, who are representing the board of governors of Beis Medrash Gevaya in Lakewood. Thank you to Yitzi Ketzirer, he's from the Balibatim, who's from the founding members of the Chesterfield Kollel, and the Balibatim who were supporting Lakewood. These Balibatim all have many major commitments and time pressures, and they came here today with Rosh Shiva as a statement that Chesterfield and this new Kollel is important to Klal Yisrael, just like in Lakewood and from their hometowns in Brooklyn and Muncie. Thank you all for coming. Biggest thank you goes to all the donors. Thank you to everyone who, every donation, from the smallest to the largest donation, this is all together, this is what made the Kollel possible. So thank you to each and every one of you for donating to the Kollel and the beginning and ongoing in the years to come. This is what makes the Kollel function, and we appreciate every single person's donation. The entire Kollel initiative from the start to the finish would never have come to fruition without one person who did and continues to do all the hours upon hours of behind-the-scenes work. Besides being an amazing full-time wife and mother, physical therapist, and full-time MGM, basically running everything, and full-time coordinator of so many TIC initiatives and learning programs, is my wife Fagi, who has made everything to get today possible. When bringing a Kollel to a community, there are untold hours of details that need to be secured. Fagi is the unsung hero that made it all happen. And of course, every area of this dinner, from the invitations to the decorations to the phone calls and babysitting, on behalf of the Kollel, we thank you for all your work. Thank you to my parents for coming today. I know it's not easy coming, but thank you to my parents and my brother who came from Los Angeles. And thank you to my in-laws. It wouldn't be, I can't even express our karsat time. You know, we moved here 8 years ago, and it's just been amazing for our kids to grow up in this shul and to see the Mesiras Nefesh of my father-in-law, my mother-in-law, for every member of the shul and every member of the community. They've taught us really what it means to just think about others and not themselves. And it's an amazing lesson and a great way to raise your children. Also, a special thank you to Rabbi David Spetner and his brother Jonathan Spetner, who couldn't be here today, but Rabbi David Spetner is here. Really, at this whole Kollel, the push for me for the Kollel really started from maybe a year and a half ago. I was talking to Rabbi Spetner from Cincinnati. I used to live in Cincinnati. I learned in the Kollel there. And he called me up, and he got his brother on the phone, and they said, you know, now that the yeshiva moved, it's really time to start a Kollel in the shul. And they really, they got it started, and then Rabbi Sor Levitansky joined in, and they were really the driving force of getting the Kollel started, and I thank them for that. And a special thank you to Rabbi Levitansky for hours upon hours of advice and guidance, and as much as we needed at Kolell anytime, day and night, and Rabbi Aaron Kotler and everyone else at the Beis Medrash Gevaya for helping us find the best single light and making the color reality. All right, almost done. And thank you to Naftali Friedman, who's been running all the finances of the Kolell too. I have one last thank you for my partner Baruch, but he's going to speak. So when I introduce him, I'll say the thank you for that time. I'd like to call my brother-in-law, Ramesha Winter, to speak first.